Yes, Rod doing Rod and all that. So before we get started, make sure you guys do that subscribe. Make sure when we're done, you like, you comment, you share, all that good stuff. All right. So again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right. Cool. So we got a lot to talk about today. We didn't get to talk yesterday, so we have a few topics to talk about today. Don't mind the light. The light is really harsh on me right now. The sun is setting right here in the Middle East, and I don't really have the sunlight, so I'm using my ring light. And I broke I didn't break, but I don't know, the remote is not working, so I can't change the light settings. I would make it a softer light or whatever, but I can't do that. The batteries are dead, so I got to rock with what I got. Anyway, we still gonna do this, Rod doing Rod. So, you know the classic, my dad can beat your dad. You know the classic, right? My dad can beat your dad. My dad is stronger than your dad and everything. Is it true? Can you beat his dad? Can you beat me? I don't know. I'm not saying I could beat everyone's dad, but I was thinking about this because my daughter, we were driving in the car, or it's probably after school or something, and my daughter said, I was playing with so-and-so, some little girl doesn't like her, or frenemies or whatever. And she's like, I was playing with so-and-so, and she said, that's why my dad hates you. And my daughter seemed very offended that the girl said her dad hates my daughter. Now I'm thinking really all this stuff in the span of like a half a second. I'm like, what adult would say that about a kid? I don't think he said that. If so, why would my daughter care that a 50-year-old man didn't like her or whatever? Any of that stuff. I was thinking all that stuff. But what came out of my mouth a couple of seconds was, who cares? I beat her dad's ass. You know, it's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, I was like offended that my daughter didn't instantly jump on that part. Like, look at your dad. It's me. I'm like, who cares? I'm like, if he got a problem, if it's problematic, let him come and tell me what the problem is, and let's see if it's still as problematic as it sounded, you know? But then I was thinking about that whole thing. I'm like, you know, I'm always telling her, like, if somebody has a problem and it needs to be handled, you know, dad is here. But I'm like, you can't beat up everyone's dad. Like, John Jones has kids, right? Does he? I'm assuming. You can't beat John Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't beat everyone's dad. You probably, like, how? All right, let's put it like this. Of the dads you know, but who are not your close friends, okay? Let's not even start that kind of drama. But who are not your close friends, what percentage of them do you think you can beat? You know, 70%, 55%. And when I say the dads you know, obviously, like, I'm not talking about my homeboy. Like, I'm not saying, you know, if I can beat up, you know, like a dude that's really my friend, wouldn't, you know, even though we all keep that in the back of our minds somewhere. But this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, what's the pool of dads, the ones in your neighborhood that you don't have a drink with, or once in a while, the dads at the playground, the dads when you drop off the kids at school or you pick them up, you know, this kind of thing. So, you know, out of every 10 dads you see, how many of them do you think you can beat up? I don't know. I think I can beat up a good 64, 65% at the least. So this is just like, you know, that's without me even giving it a whole lot of thought. I think I can, you know, I could put away 60, 64, 65%, but I can probably beat up more like 99% of them. But anyway, so how about you? Can you beat up other dads? And this conversation could extend to moms also, but I wouldn't know too much about that. Now, the funny thing is I grew up without a dad. I grew up just with my mom, and my dad's alive. I'm just saying he wasn't in the picture like that, but we're cool though. Shout out to my dad. And, you know, I always kind of had the idea that my mom wasn't something to be played with. You know, did I know if she can beat people up? I don't know, but at the very least, my mom could bluff the hell out of it. So, you know, if it ever came down to like mom on mom, my money was on my mom. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about today. Another thing I wanted to talk about today is, do people act like their outfits? So I had this job once, and at the culmination of the training, we were on a boat ride or something like that. And one of the guys I finished the training with, the dude I was cool with, he was looking at another guy and he was like, look at him, his silly hat, his jack off and his silly hat. And I was like, yeah, the hat does look silly. And he was like, and he's going to act like that hat. And I was like, he's going to act like that hat? I'm like, do people act like their clothes? I said, people don't act like their clothes. He was like, yeah, they do. He was like, he has that hat. He's going to act like that hat, like that douchey hat, So ever since then, I thought to myself, do people act like their clothes? Like if you have a certain outfit, does it change how you act? And in that way, an outfit is like a costume, right? It's like you wear a certain outfit and it's like, it changes your personality. As a performer, when I was rapping all the time, right, and I was performing, I definitely needed my outfit to get into character. Now, when I wasn't on the stage, I tried not to act like that outfit, but it would extend to off stage also. But definitely, like while I was on stage, I needed that outfit to be in character, to be who my performance persona was. So I don't know, maybe people do act like their outfits. Do you act like your outfit? When you wear certain things, do you feel like now you have to be a person who wears this kind of thing? I know to an extent it's a real thing because, when we dress up, when we are like what it may say, I'm the reason they made the dress code. They figure I wasn't wild when I'm in my fresh clothes. So you get people in something really nice and something formal and they will behave differently. So I guess so. But I guess I'm thinking more along the lines of like a strange hat, or some accessories or something like that, Do you then act like that at like a person who wears, shark tooth necklace? Do you act like a shark tooth necklace wearing person if you happen to wear shark tooth necklace? If you wear a shark tooth necklace, you already were a shark tooth necklace wearing person. So I don't know about that one. Anyway, what else we got here? One thing I notice about kids now, this drives me crazy with my daughter, but and my son, now that I think about it. But when I thought about it from a different perspective today, and I was like, it's kind of awesome. So kids, they'll wear the same thing. If they like it, they will wear that thing over and over again. My daughter has this nice like tie-dye outfit. She'll wear it today. She'll try to sneak it back on 2 days later. She doesn't do it as much now because she knows we're going to mess with her for it, but she'll try to wear it like a few days later because she loves it and she loves how it makes her feel. She probably acts like her outfit, right? She loves how it makes her feel. And each time she wears it, it's like the first time. So it annoyed me. I was like, it's going to be dirty. It's going to be dingy and funky. And, she gets annoyed with me as she should. But then today I was thinking about it and I was like, imagine if every time you wore a particular outfit, it just made you feel amazing every time. It's like the first time you worn it every single time, even if you wear it 2 days later. As an adult, or at least me, I could wear something once or twice. It doesn't feel new anymore, and it's just like something I had for 5 years. Nobody would have seen it except like 3 people in a shisha lounge or something. And I'm ready to retire that outfit. So with kids, it's awesome. They're just like, this makes me feel like a superhero. I want to wear it again. And every time I wear it, I'm going to feel dope. And just another dope thing about being a kid. But like I said in one of my previous videos, I still much prefer being an adult to being a kid. So even though it's dope that they don't care that they wear the same outfit a lot, that's not enough reason for me to want to be a kid again. All right, what else? It's one of the biggest shitholes. It is, the politicians and stuff they call the third world countries, at least the right-wing politicians, but probably the left too, just not in public. They say, oh, this country is a shithole, right? They're usually meaning a country with brown people, right? This African country, this Caribbean country, this South American, and this Asian country, it's a shithole, right? We've gotten that terminology in the past few years. But it's not that. It's not the biggest shithole. is any like forum or comment space online, any message board, any Reddit, anything like that. Those are the biggest shitholes. Those are the most annoying, not even annoying. Those are the most miserable people on earth. These people are so miserable. No matter what somebody posts, right? They call them the OP. No matter what OP says, everyone wants to attack it. It doesn't matter if they said something that the people in the forum would objectively agree with. It's just because it's online, they want to attack it. I noticed that, like I'll be in one of the Bitcoin forums or something like that, and somebody will say, Bitcoin is backed by energy, right? It's backed by math, it's backed by code, and the ability to generate a Bitcoin from the energy that your machine has as well. And you have people on there, they get in the comment space, right? They reply and they're like, "You're a dumbass. It's not backed by any of that. It's backed by the social contract, by an agreement that we all have that it has value," right? Okay. So say it was person A had that response, it's backed by the social contract or whatever. Next day, somebody can write in the forum, Bitcoin is backed by the social contract. It's backed by an agreement that we all say it has value. Person A will then get in that comment space and say, yeah, you don't really know what you're talking about. Bitcoin is backed by math and code and science and energy. When they were just saying the day before that it was backed by the social contract. And it's just people are their worst selves online. Those are the biggest shitholes, the comment space and an Instagram post. Oh my God. You talk about a shithole. This is where the filth, the dregs of society congregate. What else? That was what I was thinking about. I was just thinking about so much random stuff today, guys. I was thinking about the waiting room at the therapist. I had therapy today. Shout out to my therapist. I hope my therapist never ever watches my podcast. He knows I podcast, so he never watches it. But yeah, I have a good therapist. But I was in the waiting room and I was like, the waiting room at the therapist is a strange place. I never really thought about it because when I walked into the waiting room after I checked in, after I registered, and I just looked around, like the first thing I thought was like, what's this guy's deal? What's this lady's deal? And I'm just making up a whole story. This lady, she looked like she's probably in her mid-30s, blonde, severe ponytail. This guy over here, he looked like he was probably in his late 40s, salt and pepper hair, still had a good head of hair, tall, glasses, looked like he's well-to-do. And I'm just like making up these stories and I'm like, yeah, but they're here. They're just as effed up as me. Wonder what he did. He's probably, maybe he's just there just to be a healthy and balanced individual, right? Like maybe he just like realizes that you shouldn't wait until you're in a crisis to have therapy. And he's just like, I'm just going to come here and just to be healthy. I'm going to get some things off my mind and share my thoughts and just some strategies to be a functioning human being. And I'm just making up his story. I'm like, he's been drinking during Ramadan. He's, and he's processing the reasons why he can't stop, and I'm looking at the lady and I'm like, she's not nice to her kids, her students or her kids at home. She's not nice. She's unpacking the trauma, That's why her ponytail is very severe. It's pulled back super, super tight. I'm just making up stories, right? And then I sit down and I'm like, what are you thinking of me? I'm like, I don't even think they get black guys who come in here for therapy. I'm like, what are you thinking about me? Making up my story. So you probably think I'm in the military. I'm a little bit stacked, and I certainly don't look like a teacher, and they're probably like, yeah, he's shell shocked. or not shell shock, but probably like he has like PTSD or something. He's dealing with things. He probably comes here. Maybe he did something. They sent them here. His commander, whatever you call it, corporal. I don't know what the hell. He sent them here to talk to the therapist. No, all effed up. But anyway, that's just what I was thinking. I was thinking a bunch of random stuff, y'all. So anyway, Rod doing Rod. We're going to talk again tomorrow. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like. Please make sure you comment. I want to hear, can you beat up someone's dad? Are you the dad who would get beat up? Tell me if you think, do you ever act like your outfit? Do you act like the clothes you're wearing? Does your kid like to wear the same outfit a lot? Do you, are you in therapy? No, don't tell me if you're in therapy. Do you also have tired eyes because you've been dealing with kids all day and then you have to go home and deal with your own kids? Nah, shout out to my kids. My kids are at an iftar. Okay. We're nearing the end of Ramadan. We're in the last week of Ramadan. And soon will be Eid. So my kids are at an iftar with my wife. And yeah, it's all good, guys. Rod doing Rod. Y'all take it easy. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share, you like, comment, all that good stuff. Peace.